Okay, so pulling up the script. Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Marielle. I am the president of the club.
Hi, I'm Paulina, and I'm a member of the club.
And today we're going to be talking about the zero waste lifestyle, its purpose, why people do it, and some tips and tricks for you to lower your waste. Hold up. Before we start, actually, I'm so sorry. I need to see if my screen is shared. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, can you also see this?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So for the news today, we have three sets of news. So for this one, Professor Poppelmeyer and his colleagues from the Northwestern University of Illinois had developed a chemical technique which breaks down the bonds that make polyethylene, the plastic that makes bags. In addition to this, the professor and his team are also collaborating with a national laboratory. As a result, they found out that the liquidated plastic from the plastic bags can also be used as a lubricant. Looking at this, chemical recycling brings promises in the future to produce and reuse new sustainable products. However, we have to wait a long time until we can use liquid plastic in our daily lives. Joe Biden finally is president, and he's making an aggressive plan to tackle climate change. However, his goal of making U.S. carbon neutral by 2050, the goal of the Paris Climate Agreement, seems highly unlikely, for the Democrats do not have most of Congress. Still, he will have to take meaningful executive actions while also reversing Trump's past actions. Biden said that he is planning to stop leasing any new oil and gas rights on federal land and water, direct agencies toward the electricity sector, and by doing this, he hopes to raise the fuel economy standards in hopes of transitioning towards the electric vehicles. And also, he plans to rejoin the Paris Climate Agreement and the World Health Organization. But just know that 2/3 of all Americans, including Republicans, say that they do want the government to do more with climate change. However, it is up to Biden to unite the Congress in order to actually take environmental action. Scientists have discovered a new primate species in the jungles of Myanmar. However, when they discover them, they already noticed that they are at the risk of extinction. This is also known as this monkey is known as the Popa langur, I think I pronounced it right, and they're only estimated to about 200 to 260 left of them in the world, according to the news released by the London Natural History Museum. They are identified as critically endangered and thankfully are isolated in 4 populations. Fortunately, they live by sacred sites. So killing them is a crime. However, any disturbance ranging from free cattle grazing, which is cows eating up the land, to agricultural encroachment, which is the lowering of greenlands due to the rise of urban environments, will put them at risk. Improved protected area management, in particular improved law enforcement, is essential to stabilize the 2 largest known populations, said the study. So that is all the news for today, and now for the part that you've all been waiting for. Paulina, take it away.
Okay, so the first question is, what is zero waste? Zero waste is a lifestyle that redesigns the way we use materials in a way that has the least impact on Earth, because a lot of the most recent like trash/recycling process goes into the landfills, and it has a terrible impact on Earth. So zero waste, we're trying to prevent that terrible impact. And the ultimate goal is to stop creating waste overall in hopes to stop the creation of landfills. By doing this, people are reusing their products over and over again as much as possible. So here it is. It's a lifestyle that redesigns the way we use materials, and the goal is to have nothing go into the landfills and to reuse things as much as possible. So why is this so important? So this is our current this is the linear production system, and things go from resources are extracted from the earth, and then they're produced, and then they're distributed into millions and millions of homes. They're consumed, and then they're disposed. So a lot of the times, these things that are produced are single-use plastic. So you use them like for 5 seconds of your life, and they have a long-term effect, and it takes so many years for that to degrade. And so the United States is the most wasteful country in the world, despite having 4% of the world's population. And that says a lot about the United States. We do have a huge population, but we're very wasteful. We can all change this by modifying our habits and advocating for change on a larger scale. So locally, statewide, nationally, and globally. So there's a short video that describes the zero waste system and what we would like it to be in the future. And this is an example, and I believe it's from how San Francisco does their waste.
Okay, just let me know if you can see the video. Can you guys see the video?
Yes.
Can you also hear it?
Yeah.
Okay, bet. Sorry.
Can you put closed captions?
Thank you. Just gonna load a bit. So
So
yeah.
in that video, they were just showing, they were talking about microplastics and
Oh, so
so
sorry.
that
Please continue.
and so these are microplastics. It's just like basically plastic, and then over time it breaks apart, but then it stays really small. And the dangerous thing about that is that a lot of animals and just sea animals, they swallow these things and it's in their system forever, and sometimes it can even kill them. And it's terrible because this is literally the human's fault, because if we weren't here, this wouldn't be happening. And I think zero waste, it helps us like prevent that from happening.
So yeah, the purpose of zero waste is to reduce as much pollution that we create in the environment so that it does not impact the environment and the lives of others, which includes us, the humans. So there are 5 ways that you can pursue zero waste in your life. They're also known as the 5 R's. It's reduce, reuse, recycle, and refuse and rot. So first we're gonna talk about refuse. So a question that you should always ask when shopping is, do you really need this? Because although it is nice to have nice things, if you're not going to use it, then the value is useless once you buy it. You'll just leave it in your closet, your room, table, bathroom, etc., whatever. You'll just never use it again. So when you're out shopping for new clothes or any new material product, just ask, will I use this tomorrow or multiple times in the future? Because if you do end up like throwing that stuff away, the thing that you buy, if that ends up in the trash, that will then end up in landfills and possibly the environment and the ocean, and then it will break down, turn into microplastics, and the exact same thing will happen as you saw in the video. Animals will eat it, and then we possibly might eat the animals, and then will affect our own health. Another thing to do is to reduce the amount of things that you have. So all those things that are in your closet, all the things that you don't need in your house or didn't need, it is time to let it go. It is time to reduce your inventory, because sometimes it's just good to give back to someone who actually needs it. Then up next, you can then actually reuse some of the things that you have at home. Anything that you already have. That saves a lot of trash and allows you to be more mindful about the materials you have in your house. Plus, it also saves money, which Paulina will explain later. Examples include reusing plastic bags, clothes, water bottles, maybe go thrifting. When you shop for new items, think about the things that you can reuse. For instance, a metal razor, a reusable tea bag / strainer, handkerchiefs instead of actual paper tissues, etc. Just know that in this lifestyle that you have to be mindful of the things that have a long longevity, like plastic bags. Instead of throwing it away, you can reuse it over and over again. Or maybe you can buy a bag made out of fiber. Other than that, just make sure that all the things that you're using, make sure you're mindful about, oh, where's it gonna go once I'm finished with it. Then up next is recycling. It is pretty self-explanatory. You possibly do this in your life already, but typically it is used as a last resort for most zero wasters, typically because when you recycle, you know that most of the things that recycle, especially plastic, ends up in the landfill. So when you recycle, you should most likely only recycle paper, because those things can biodegrade. And which leads up to the next one, which is rotting. So basically all the things that you recycle or possibly compost, you can reuse it and give back to the environment. So rather than putting most of the things into the waste, because if those end up in landfills, it would just create more methane in the environment, which creates more gas and increases global warming. Get back to the ground, by composting. It will provide a lot more nutrients in the soil, which is beneficial for not only the decomposers, but also the insects and just the animals that eat insects, and the whole circle of life. And tips and tricks?
Okay, so a way that we can implement zero waste into our own lives is by swapping regular things you use for more reusable materials. So you can bring your own shopping bag, bring your own cup, instead of using a plastic water bottle every day, use a reusable water bottle. Use your own eco bag. So instead of maybe having a little plastic baggie to put in your carrots, use a reusable bag every time so you don't waste all those plastic bags. Bring your own cutlery. So instead of using plastic forks, maybe use a wooden one in your lunchbox, and use glass jars. There's all of these examples here, and I think one of the things that is a common swap is instead of buying a new coffee cup every day, bring your own reusable coffee cup. And I know a lot of people like to buy new books, but it's important to realize that, you know, there are great books in the library too. And also a huge thing is electronics. So electronics, they're a lot of money, but also you can get reusable or refurbished electronics. Even MacBooks, there are refurbished MacBooks that are at a much lower price, and they still work perfectly fine. And then instead of buying, you know, just basic things from the grocery store that come in plastic, you can potentially take your jars into a store where they just, it's you don't have to buy, you don't get the food that is wrapped in plastic. Okay, so a local approach to zero waste. So in Montgomery County, there is a bag law legislation, and that is basically a 5 cents tax on plastic bags. And so we're going to watch this video on this website. And this is a website about the Neighbors of Northwest Branch, and they are committed to protecting the Anacostia River. And one of their things that they do is advocate, and they actually they advocated for the 5 cents tax on the bags.
For the video, is it one of these?
Wait, can you scroll down a little bit more, please? I believe it's all the way at the bottom. Yeah, it's that one.
This one?
Yeah, so go from 3:27 to 4 minutes.
Okay, let me just pull this up. 3:27. Thank you.
So here, I can't exactly hear the video, but here this guy talks about how after that legislation was passed, they saw a huge reduction in the amount of plastic bags in the Anacostia River. So you see all that. I believe that was probably before the legislation was passed, and now it's just a lot better.
So just some important things to remember, or a key takeaway for all of this. Just know that zero waste doesn't have to happen, you don't have to jump into it right away. You don't have to be perfect right away. It is a day-to-day process. You just got to take it one day after another. Also, you don't have to live zero waste in the way that everyone else does it. Do what makes it accessible to you, which, Paulina, can you explain or tell your story?
Yeah, so when I came across a lot of videos on zero waste on YouTube, a lot of the people who are doing zero waste were going into these stores where they buy things in bulks and they don't require plastic. But honestly, in my area, I haven't seen a lot of those places. And I think they have those places more in the cities and in more wealthier areas. So that's why I'm saying, that's why we have that point. Live it in the way that's accessible to you, because we understand that not everyone has access to these certain things, and that shouldn't stop you from trying to live zero waste, you know? So yeah, it's just do what's accessible to you. Don't feel bad because you can't afford certain things. Just try to figure out what actually works for you, what won't cost that much.
Yeah, exactly. And the whole point of it is that it's the effort that counts. Again, you don't have to strive for perfection. Just keep on making those small steps that will lead you to like a more sustainable future and a more sustainable you. And here's a big key takeaway is that we don't need a few people doing zero waste like perfectly. Instead, we need millions of people doing zero waste imperfectly. Just multiple or just millions of people taking the initiative of just being sustainable. And again, we're not the only part of the problem. Large companies also have a huge impact through with these recycling and trash process, which makes a huge difference. Now we're gonna open up to all you guys. Do you have an an open conversation? So here's some questions. What are your thoughts so far of this workshop? How can we implement zero waste in our daily lives, and how can we implement zero waste on a larger scale? Feel free to open up. What do you think, Paulina?
All right. So honestly, when I saw that video about the microplastics, I had never heard about that, and I was like, wow, that makes a huge impact. You know, and it was kind of, it hurt my eyes to see them open up that little birdie and, you know, literally look inside of his stomach, and they found these microplastics, and they also showed a bunch of microplastics, and that really made me think about, you know, the impact that we have on these sea animals. And something that I didn't know was, you know, we eat seafood, and we end up eating these things in microplastics, and I believe in that video they mentioned that by, I don't know what year, it's going to be more
2050.
2050, yeah, it's going to be in our food more, and that's terrible, you know. And we shouldn't only think about ourselves, but the impact that we have, you know, on others.
And it's like, and for Hannah, hopefully I pronounced your name right. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But to add on what she said, yeah, in 2050 is the year that the Paris Climate Agreement agreed to, like, you know, also lower global warming at a certain, you know, degree. So the fact that just looking at this, it's not only that global warming is increasing and we might not reach that point, but it's also like the sea, we might be putting so much plastic in the sea that we might end up killing ourselves also. Also, you raised your hand for Hannah. I'm so sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, but feel free to open up and talk about
No,
your
you said it right.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no, it's just so shocking to hear that we are 4% of the whole world, but we are the most wasteful. I'm not surprised, but I've always interested into zero waste. So thank you guys both for doing this workshop, because I got some new ideas. But yeah, like most definitely, like I know that we do eat some of the plastic, and I just wish that there were more possibly like grocery stores that provide like zero waste without any like packets and stuff, but it's pretty hard to find here. So yeah, it kind of sucks, but I guess if I can do whatever I can, that's amazing. So I will most definitely start using a reusable bottle, because
Yeah,
for
thank
some
you.
reason I started using plastic bottles again, but I'm gonna stop. So that's great.
Yeah, it's just takes practice and habit. I mean, I know I transitioned to this, but I'm still not drinking as much water, so I guess nothing really has changed. But yeah, to add on for the bringing, you know, shopping to grocery stores. Now, there's like a contradiction, because the stores that you can go to and bring your own jars are typically organic markets. So yesterday I went to Mom's Market and I bought my own jar. I don't know if I'm allowed to bring all my other jars, because before COVID, I could actually bring in my own jars and fill stuff in bulk, like scoop it in and then put it in a big ass jar. But once COVID hit, they package everything up in like plastic bags. So that's kind of a bit of a contradiction. I don't know if they took it out of plastic bags now, or maybe we just have to wait until all those have sold, or yeah, are bought, so that they can start filling up and go back to their normal routine. But thankfully their teas, they were still in jars, so I kind of scooped up this little thing. Yes, this is Earl Grey, so it's really tasty. And also another thing that I use is a reusable strainer. So I put the leaves from that jar into here. So, and this was my mom's, but just know that you don't have to buy everything now. This was a slow and steady process. Like once I actually got a job, then I got to be more mindful about my spending. And I think because as you grow up and become more mindful of your spending, you can pick out what you really need, especially in the zero waste lifestyle. You can identify what you need, and that influences kind of empowers you in some way because it's also a personal finance aspect.
Yeah.
But contradiction. Yeah, organic markets are pretty expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Like this one, I think it was they weighed it by ounce, and I looked at receipt. I was like, this can't be right. This already is just like what 15. I can't. I'm just like,
Are you
wait,
serious?
no, right? And it's just like, is this and almonds? I bought a whole batch of almonds, so it's like a big ass container, and they weighed it. Price tags like $60. I'm like, oh no. But on the right side, they don't rot, I guess. Almonds.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, it's
Yeah.
expensive. So I guess what we can learn from this is be mindful of just like the refrigerator and we like using up all our foods that we buy, because just saying it's a huge investment. So you'd be better be making use of your money.
Yeah, honestly.
Oh yeah, keep going. I'm just gonna look
Oh,
at the
sorry to interrupt you, but yeah, I was just looking at the chat right now. People were like, exactly, and how that's a problem, and it's sad how it's costly, but it would help everyone in the world. Honestly, yeah. And I was telling Marielle this earlier, but I went to a farmer's market for the first time like about a month ago, and I was on a $5 budget. And I was over here thinking I was gonna buy some flowers, and then the flowers are like more than $5. And then I was like struggling because every place everywhere, like, because the farmers market, it was the Kensington's farmers market, and they
I
were
didn't know
selling
they
cheese.
had one. Oh yeah, keep going though.
Yeah,
Sorry.
they have one. They were selling cheese. It was really expensive, and then the bread, and then you had to line up for like their little because the farmers market consists of a bunch of like different like parts, but a lot of people were lined up to get their fresh vegetables, and it made me think of what you said, because you could just like put your stuff in the jars. But honestly, I was looking at the prices and I was like, oh my gosh, my friend literally didn't buy anything because we were both on a budget, and I was able to buy 2 things, but they were each like 250. And yeah, I feel you. It's literally not easy.
It's a struggle, but it's worth investment.
Yeah.
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 Farhana said that the Body Shop is starting to do zero waste though. Yay! She's going to also to get shampoo bars. Oh, I got some from Lush also. Those work. Those are nice with no packaging.
Wait, which place did you say, Maria?
Lush. So Lush
Oh.
offers shampoo bars. I can bring it. You go talk. Okay, you can talk about it.
Oh, okay. So wait, for Hannah,
Oh,
what is
yeah.
the Body Shop?
Yes, hold up. It is Lush. It's Lush and the Body Shop. Both of them are doing it. So my sister goes. We literally just went to the mall the other day because she needed to get her hair shampoo, and like lately because her hair has been like acting up, and they use like cruelty free, like everything is cruelty free, so it's like really healthy for your hair, and everything is derived from like plants and stuff, and it's been like making her hair like really healthy and shiny. But you can usually find them at like it's not at the Weedham Mall, but it's at Montgomery and Tyson's.
Yeah, Lush.
And they have it at both of them. But yeah, Lush is really good. I went in there and like they're really nice. They give you like samples. Everything is like packaged, and then I think their packaging, they're starting to do like this whole like zero waste campaign. I just saw it on their website, but I'm not completely sure. I haven't looked into it.
Oh yeah,
but I do
just
know
to
that everything there, like you're not going to see that much packaging, and if you do, most of it is recyclable.
Oh yeah, so basically to add on what Farhana said, yeah, so Lush is like going towards a more sustainable, or they're taking more sustainable actions. One of the good deals is that, hey, if you save up 5 jars of, or whatever amount of jars for like, for face mask, and you return it, you can get a free face mask. Yeah, so that way it's also like giving initiative for the customers to save more or be more sustainable. So I think that's a good green business. And also this is some of the shampoo bar. This is my second one actually, and it does last a long time. I think it takes about like 3 to 6 months because I don't wash my hair every single day.
Wait, how do you use
So
that
basically you take it, and then once you I start like putting it on my hair, and then the water like interacts with it and it gets really soapy. And after that, I just take whatever soap is on and I start washing my hair.
Yeah. Wow, that's so cool.
Thank you. Yay. So yeah, if you want to like,
Yeah.
get more sustainable products, check out Lush. Yes, you were saying Farhana. Oh, were you gonna
Oh
say
no, I
something?
was just saying my sister just rubs it on her hand until it gets all soapy, and then she'll put it like on the side, and then that's how she does it. So that's actually smart too.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh,
I'm gonna
yeah.
buy some this weekend.
Wait, how much is it if you guys don't mind me asking? The soap bar.
Let's see. We can go check online. But just know that even if it's like a little bit pricey, one, inflation, and two, it does last a long time. Like this could take a year, but that's only if you don't like wash your hair every single day. I heard that if you wash your hair every single day, you'll dry out your scalp. So that's why I use a showering cap sometimes when I shower. So yeah, I only wash my hair about 2 to 3 times a week. So, and if you like extend that towards a month, this can last like a whole year if you don't have a lot of hair. Yes.
I think it's around 14, 16. But the reason to why it's also pricey, a little pricey, I would say it's because it's all like derived from plants. Like there's nothing like unhealthy. So really it's
Wow.
actually like making your hair healthier, better for your body. So because usually the shampoos that you guys are using now, like I'm assuming if it's like herbal essence, like they're
In the
actually like you're
Costco
not even
bottles?
supposed to have it like on your face because
Yeah,
yeah, like they're not supposed to be on your face or anything because they can actually have they have like sulfate or like chemicals. So like it can really like it can take your take off your hair or like, like just have it like fall out, and that's what happened to me. And
oh
I
shoot,
had
are
to
you? Dang. Sorry, keep going.
stop using drugstore like so yeah.
But yeah,
Farhana. Wow.
to add on, about a year, maybe less, but a lot of months. So yeah, you were saying, Paulina?
Honestly, 14, like thinking about it, the Costco bottles are like maybe 14.50 for two of them, and they last like 6 months.
Mm.
So it's kind of the same thinking about it. 14.50 is actually not that bad compared to like the price of the Costco bottles. And the Costco bottles are cheaper than, if you go to Target and you get herbal essences.
Yeah.
So honestly, I might consider doing that. You got it from Lush, right?
Yeah, Lush. Farhana, did you mention a different store?
I think she meant. Oh, go ahead.
Yes,
Farhana.
it is also the Body Shop, but I went
Oh, okay, that's really cool. Thank you.
to Lush this weekend, but I just saw that the Body Shop just put up on their like website that they are.
Yay. You're cutting off. Oh, actually, never mind. Sorry. Other than that, I think, are we done with our open like discussion? Is there anything that anyone likes to point out, comment on, etc.?
I would just like to talk about implementing waste in our zero waste in our daily lives. So we already, gave a bunch of examples, and then implementing zero waste on a larger scale. So what I mean by that is, okay, let me start from the beginning. So in one of the things to remember points, it said, wait, can you go back to the things to remember, please, so I can refer to it?
This one? Yeah.
Okay, yeah, where it says we're not the only part of the problem. I think that is very important to remember, because I remember I told my friend about how I was interested in like zero waste, and she was like, I need you to remember. And I was telling her I felt like a terrible person, which is okay to feel, but I felt really, really bad. And then my friend was like, large corporations are also a huge part of it, and they should be held accountable. And that made me think more, because they're they're responsible for a lot of the pollution, and the packaging that a lot of corporations have, they can decide if it's zero waste, and Amazon, I don't know what Amazon is doing, but I hope it's reusable. Like, I don't know, but yeah, so the reason I'm saying that is because it's cool, that we're trying to do zero waste for ourselves, but it's also important to remember that we should try to, like, pressure companies into maybe having them change their packaging, or thinking about how we can make a change locally. And when I saw that the neighbors of the Northwest branch helped, they advocated for that bag legislation. I was like, wow, that's amazing, because honestly, I'm not gonna lie, but before that bag legislation, I would just go to with my mom to the grocery stores, and we would just buy the plastic bags because they were free. But now my
Mm.
mom is always making sure that she has those reusable bags. So yeah, it's important to just think about how you can change on a local level, and then, go larger.
Yeah, it's so cool because as a kid, when that happened, I never really thought about like my actions towards plastic bags. Like I think, like literally when I went, it was the day like the legislation happened or it was passed. I got the plastic bags, and or at least no, I was walking over to the plastic bags, and then a man was standing there. It's like, oh, may I have some plastic bag? Because it seemed like they took it out, I guess. And he said, well, you gotta pay 5 cents now. I'm like, what? It's like, yeah, and it's like, why? Because of like pollution and etc. And my dad had to take me away. He's like, okay, you have to pay now. Like, don't take plastic bags. Let's go. But yeah, to add on what Paulina said, yes, I feel like we can definitely take it to the board and do that. And yes, large companies are held accountable. They should be held accountable because they are the ones mass producing all these products.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of ironic because I am a business student. But
Mm-hmm.
I do, but the reason I'm a business student is because I want to, implement more green businesses when I grow up. Yeah, I want to go into the sustainability field to find ways to make businesses more green. However, how do I say this? I think I just learned in accounting that if not one specific person is held accountable, then you don't know like who to blame. Like this is a large corporation, like, and underneath like thousands of people have jobs underneath them. So one of the things that they are part of it. So you can't just like sue a whole company. So that's why it's kind of hard to hold them accountable. However, that kind of makes me think maybe if we like create a trend of it, because sustainability is becoming a trend, and global warming is becoming a new like thing, or yeah, but not a new thing, but people are taking more sustainable actions, and as a result, companies are following. So yes, we buy stuff from large companies, but large companies are also looking at their consumer. They're looking towards us for what they should do. Do you know anything about recyclable poly bubble mailers? I think I got one from Amazon. I do not know, but would you like to explain? Oh, you buy them online. You haven't seen any recyclable bubble mailers.
I don't know.
Yes, oh, you don't know? Oh, I do not know if there's recyclable bubble mailers, but it's so weird because I recently bought something from Amazon, and it was a paper packaging, and when I looked on the inside, yes, there was some bubble wrap, but around it, I think inside the paper was some like cotton stuff, which made it biodegradable and recyclable, which is really cool.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So yes, this was around the item, but the actual packaging totally fully recyclable. No inside lining there was just no plastic lining in the inside, which is really cool. I think that's all for the open discussion. Ready to move on, guys? Thumbs up if you should. Yay, okay. This is mainly just some community updates. Oh, let me hold that up. Just more stuff about our club. Oh wait, hold up. Thank you. So events coming up, and wait, actually no. The Denim Drive is happening. We have contacted the company and are planning on how we're going to be sponsored, which is really cool. So the company that does the Denim Drive, apparently they asked for our logo. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but just know that what you will need is to literally just go online, print out the shipping label, but we will host the event. We'll give you instructions for possibly next week's meeting or this week's meeting on Friday on the process. But just a heads up, just get a recyclable box because, recycling, and just heads up, look out for instructions, and that's basically it. And soon the Denim Drive will happen, and you can just recycle or just donate some of your old jeans that you do not need. I know I'm going to be donating a lot of jeans because I guess my style has changed, but yes, that's something to look out for. And also, one more thing, Farron linked in the Discord underneath indoor gardening, the indoor gardening channel. She said that, hey guys, this is happening, the indoor gardening's happening. We reached out to the budget panel to see if they can give us some supplies that we can ship to all you guys so that we can do an indoor gardening session/workshop together. Which is basically we get the items that the budget panel pays for, we distribute it to you guys, and then you got the soil, you got the soil and everything, and you got the seeds, and we can just plant together. Yay! Some events coming up. Well, International Week is next week. Therefore, there will be a lot of clubs and opportunities for you to meet new people and learn about the world. What we are doing is that board members are going to present different countries around the world, and we'll be informing you about their actions that they are taking or not taking to make the world a more sustainable place. So please come to our club meetings and tell your friends about this so that they can stay informed about the world. If you are interested in presenting a country, because I know I'm doing like Canada or the US, if you're interested in presenting your own country, please reach out to me or any of the board members, and we can connect you to the script and the presentation so that you can present it to your fellow club members. Looking at this, I am really interested in going to the mini language lesson, which is French. I already know some Spanish, but I am also interested in doing the mini language with Spanish. Maybe the American Sign Language because I'm already in that club, but this is something to look out for and be involved in just the college. Yes, virtual environment and all, but that does not, stop you from having fun. So yeah, make sure to follow us on Instagram or, Farhana, you said, you raised your hand.
Okay, I wanted to join ASL, so
Mhm.
do I like need to sign up because I'm about to take ASL and I really wanted to join, but
So actually, it's very interesting. They have
I
meetings.
just heard that you're in the.
Oh, wait, what'd you say? Can you repeat yourself?
I was saying if you could send me the information on
Yeah,
on the
definitely.
chat.
I will send you the. Actually, is it possible you can text me your email and then I can email the newsletter to you because they do email us the members like, oh hey,
Yeah.
updates. I will just. Oh, chat. Oh,
Wait, can you send these like this screenshot to the group chat?
on the screenshot. Oh, this whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. I can definitely send the screenshot to the Discord if you want.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Other than that, so yeah, make sure you follow us on Instagram and join our Discord if you have not already. As for our emails, if you have any questions, comments, or concern, or you just want to show your interest and some involvement in the club with our projects and you want to help us out with that, make sure you reach out to us. And then here are the links for, and here are some links for some websites. Oh, actually, would you like to explain, Paulina?
Okay, so Trash is for tossers. So this was made by this person who became zero waste and she wanted to make things, she wanted to sell more zero waste things. And also there's a bunch of DIY and guides. It's really cool. There's so many things like to buy or DIY. There's also a bunch of articles. It's really great. So
She also has an Instagram and I follow her. She's amazing.
yeah, she's really cute. So yeah, I suggest checking that out if you're interested in, figuring out more ways to be zero waste.
And just so you know, there are a bunch of other zero waste blogs. You can literally just search up zero waste blogs and then they'll pop up within the great source of advice that you can go to or guidance for the zero waste lifestyle. And then here are just some links for, the resources that we have used throughout this presentation. And that is all. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. I hope you really enjoyed this workshop. So glad that you all came. Other than that, have a great day. Yay. If you want to do another presentation, please reach out. Like Paulina, she's a member. She's not a board member, but she still presented to you guys. So if you're interested, Farhana, Anvi, even though you don't go to MD, but MC, but still. Yes, Beatrice, you about to say something? Or
Oh yeah, thank you guys for doing this workshop. It was really nice.
no problem. See ya.
We're very happy to do. We're very happy to
Yeah,
do
thank
this.
you.
You're welcome.
you.
Bye, guys. Take care.
I'm gonna stop recording.